noise.
Welcome back to the next part of this Truth and Rhythm episode. Be sure to subscribe to this channel. If you've already done so, please share it with friends. Also become a member by joining Truth and Rhythm on Patreon, or consider donating at funkinstuff.net. Thank you so much for your interest and support. Enjoy.
Do you recall, I don't know if Jimmy, you were the only one there at the time or not, maybe Art was there too. But when you guys came up with Act Like You Know?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
Larry, Tony Middleton, me, and George Fairbanks. We wrote that. So it worked out. The song is still good. We're going to do it. Well, you hold on to your seat. Like
It's a big song. It's a big song.
That man's going to have to hold on to his seat forever when we do this.
It's a big song.
Yeah.
One of the reasons why we're so popular is because people were going around using that, as a euphemism. Come on,
Act
man.
like you know.
Act like you know, man. And so that was very popular, and that's one of the things that fueled, the expression and the acceptance of Act Like You Know.
Larry, Doris did a lot on there too.
And then the crossover with Act Like You Know is the video game. So that heavy bass line and that 4/4 on the floor is part of a major video game where they're driving cars on a speed racer, a speedway.
What's the name of the game?
It's a game.
It's a game.
Yeah,
Grand Theft.
yeah. The name of it, which the young people know, is entitled Grand Theft Auto. And the backdrop of the music is Fat Larry's band, Act Like You Know.
Right.
Yeah. I saw them girls on that thing where they had the camera and you stand in the middle of it and it goes around you? You seen that before? On television, you stand on this platform and they have an arm out with a video camera and it circles you and it plays a song. Mm-hmm. A circle, and you do poses and stuff. Y'all seen that on television? Never seen it. Well, they got it now where Act Like You Know is the song that they're playing while it's being done.
Right over.
Yeah, I sent it over to Butch so he could see it. Something nice to put on our site, And everybody, please don't forget to tune in to the Fat Larry Band site. Butch will make it available to you as soon as it's possible. Just come on in and click on it and see all the places where we've been. Also on that site, the tour dates will be listed there. And there's a lot of interest for Fat Larry's band on that side of Paris and up that side of the coast. So we'll be working over there really hard. We're looking forward to coming. It's great, Art.
Yeah, you don't believe it, but I'm telling you.
Buckle up.
Hold on to your seat. I'm telling you.
Buckle up.
It's coming.
Buckle up.
Do you know the website that you can give the website on?
No, actually, the CEO will put all of that out.
What you do?
Yeah, he'll make sure that you get it.
We're gonna make sure.
I guarantee you're gonna get it right here, right now. That's a new song right there.
Yeah, I noticed there's some differences in some of the stuff that came out in the US versus the UK, and like a song like Changes, which was a nice track. I'm not sure if that came out in the US.
I'm pretty sure that Fat Larry's band is worldwide distribution. It has
But we was hot as a firecracker at one time.
Yeah, I don't think that was just a UK drop. Fat Larry Band is a world act, and so anything that goes out worldwide. I'm pretty sure of that.
All right. Well, it's a great song. So
Yeah. We all like it. I see you got a Lakers hat on,
yeah, well, I'm from LA, so come by it
There
honestly.
you go.
All
There you go.
Got to represent. Although Dr. J is probably maybe my favorite player of all time. So
Yeah,
Right.
hard to beat, man. That's a hard one to say, boy.
yeah. So let me ask you, each of you, what is your very favorite Fat Larry song and why?
Oh, don't say that. Oh.
Or just give me one
Go
that
ahead, you first.
We just can't get it together.
Yeah, that's a good song.
That was one of my favorite songs. We just
That's a
can't
good
get it
song.
together.
That's a great song.
Looking for Love was one of my favorites. I got a lot of them. Here Comes the Sun. Here's another one. Ooh,
Yeah.
we had a lot of them. It was fun doing it.
Yeah.
It's still fun doing it.
Let me make it easier. What album do you think was the best from beginning to end out of the 76 to 86 studio records?
We're Looking for Love. Is it? We see Here Comes the Sun, Looking for Love. All of them is on the same album.
That's like the fourth album.
It's about the fourth album down.
Yeah, I would say that was the one.
That was a hot album all over.
I think that we had songs that were, let me say this to you. As Fat Larry's band progressed through the time, so did technology. So on our first album, we have real violin players. That's a different sound than on the second album. The union didn't make us not have real violin players. We were able to have, at that time, it was called a string machine, which is actually violins, but they called it the string machine. Technology kept getting better. And as technology got better, the group had a brighter sound because you were able to record yourself better. So you can't really judge the fourth album against the first album because the technology jumped so much better. You see, I believe the songwriting across the board for all of our songs were great. We had great songwriters. We had the guys from WMOT Records. We had the guys that were writing the Blue Magic hits. We had the guys who were writing Love Won't Let Me Wait by Major Harris. We had access to all of that stuff. And we all played on those records. We played on those records. And all of the live records, Fat Larry's band is the band playing on the live records. We played behind Margie Joseph.
Beyond anybody in there.
Yeah, but from the stable of WMOT Records, we were the house band. So anything that we shook a tambourine on is our gold record. That's why we have more gold records or whatever caliber of records we had than anybody over there, because we played on the records. People forget we play and sing.
Even on Frankie Smith stuff.
Well, I'll tell you about Frankie Smith. I was in the studio and Frankie Smith didn't have a budget. So Frankie Smith came in and Steve and Alan, well, they took 10 hours of our time. Yeah. And this is how I got to sing on the Double Dutch bus. The sax player, Doug Khalif Jones, and myself were known to be the better backup singers. So they snatched us and said, stay there. And then Frankie Smith came in with this graveling voice thing. We never thought it was going to be a hit. We never thought it was going to be a hit.
That song, but
never thought it was going to be a hit.
Frankie.
And he didn't even have a budget. It's a gold record. It's a gold record. So I just happened to be there, and I don't even know if my name is on the back of the album. It should be, but I got a check for it. I know that. And Doug Khalif Jones got a check for it because they billed it as a session. I think we got $150.
I was loving those studio work. Ooh. I made good money out there.
I think I made $150.
I did
I
it.
should have made more than that, but
Well, I did it. I did a whole lot of. We did it with Patty LaBelle. She
Yeah.
fired us.
My favorite.
We changed to. We changed from. What's the name of the song? The fast one. Lady Marmalade.
mm,
Well, we changed it from the tracks they got. We changed it. And Patty said, "That's not what I gave y'all." She paid us off. And you know it. When you hear the song, you hear something that's it. It's Fat Larry's Band. That's the way we did it. Not that was what we recorded on the cassette.
oh,
Wow, that's
That's
like
different.
really cool stuff to know. Thanks for sharing that. Dr. Salaam, were you going to add something?
Yeah, I was going to say my favorite Fat Larry Band song is "Can't Keep My Hands to Myself When I'm With You."
One of the right
That's
that's our
that's
new
good.
release.
That's new. That's new Fat Larry Band. But the old one that I like is "Here Comes the Sun."
Mhm.
Historically speaking,
That's
I
enough
like
when I
it.
wrote. And a lot
Oh,
of
yeah, my favorite Fat Larry Band song would be "Zoom." It's a very uplifting song.
And you wanna know what my favorite one is? There would be no songs if there was no Center City. Our very first release is my favorite song.
Oh yeah, how about that? City
Yeah,
City.
there would be nothing without Center City. So Center
Mhm.
City is the
That's the person.
it's the one that everyone's standing on. You're standing on the shoulders of Center City. And I remember the day it came out. I was so happy. And it's actually about downtown Philadelphia. That's actually what it's about. But it could be any downtown, anywhere around the world. Anywhere around the world, it could be any downtown.
And how about and Jimmy? How about Fat Larry's singing debut in City City?
He really didn't want. He really didn't want to do that, and I saw him frown up when he told him to do it. And they told him to do the Louis Armstrong gravel, and I think he went a little past Louis Armstrong. But it's something that we'll recreate on the tour
Yeah.
as close as we can. We all miss that boy. He was a steady drummer, and we used to play behind the
Rock solid.
Delphonics, and
He was a rock solid drummer. Rock solid.
yeah, him and I we were best of friends for a very long time.
And that's his picture on that first record cover.
Yeah,
It looks like a kid. Is it a kid?
Yeah.
Then, or?
we were all young kids, dude. We were all young. See how young I
Baby
look?
face, man.
I always look 10 years younger than what I am, than what I was. I always look younger. Always. Carl got a great face. Look at that.
Hey,
But
not
good.
to. I hope I'm not going to offend or anything, but I hear some influences in some of the songs that I just want to mention, and you can mention if you liked that group or if you thought it was any influence or not, because I'm just curious. But like, "Here Comes the Sun" that was mentioned reminds me a little bit of like a Confunction kind of thing.
Yeah. It was right about long about the same time. I'm pretty sure some of the influences. You can't help it. You playing music. You can't.
Right. Did you guys tour with them at all? Did you guys do any shows with Confunction?
Not much. Most of those things back in that time ran with what record company you were. So it depended on what record company you were signed with or who the management company was who's booking you. If you're not booked with the same management company, they're not pushing you to be with that
Who's
group.
out of New York? Not Waters.
Yeah, so-
Not Waters. That's
We
what
did a
that-
lot of stuff with naturally Earth, Wind and Fire, and we hit Aretha Franklin every now and then. Then there was Natalie Cole. We did a lot with Natalie Cole. One of my favorite groups to work with was the Johnson Brothers, with the guitar and bass player. They used to slide in on a slide board and slide down the front. And they open the curtain up, and the guy come out playing the bass. And I enjoyed working with them. Yeah, and I love the Commodores. It was not to like about the Commodores, right?
Yeah.
love the Commodores. So
Yeah.
wonderful acts, wonderful.
I just hear some other influences. I'm not going to get too deep in it, but I hear a little Fatback Band here, a little Slave there,
Yeah.
which are all good things, you know,
But
because I love those
all
groups
that
too.
was all about the same genre of music. It was all in the same vein. So you couldn't help but, feel the vibe on any of those songs. All of them about, all in the same time period. It's really locked in.
Yeah, pretty much.
Tell the folks the most unforgettable experience on the road from, back in the day. Was it playing some big stadium maybe, or maybe the equipment didn't show up one day, or whatever it might be?
Great art.
I don't know. Well, one time we had to leave the van. All of our equipment was on the van. We had to leave it. We had to wait till Steve and them sent us another van. But we had to leave all of our equipment, all the horns, all the keyboards, everything on the van. We had to leave it because the truck broke down. So we had to wait. We was trying to wait, beside the van. It was too damn hot out there. So we booked into this little truck driver, moved us over to a hotel and we sat in the lobby. We didn't have no money either because Shango had took the money with him and he was in the car. So we was out there. Woo, man, getting hungry. He was a couple of 100 miles from us. I said, "Oh, you got kidding me." All of our equipment was on that truck. How much money we had in that? Woo. All brand new equipment, all brand new stuff. Larry's drums, new guitars, Tony and Ted and the best, all of them had brand new stuff. They had brand new horns and everything out, keyboards. Was out on the truck. What? Couldn't do nothing about it. And we walked to the phone and called. Rube, he said, "Well, listen, I can't do nothing right now. I'm gonna send the credit card number. You give us the number." I said, "Oh man, this is backwards and forward. We ain't going nowhere, Jack. We ain't going nowhere." Oh, I was so hungry out there. I could have ate a whole horse. I said, "Damn, this is horrible."
What city was that in?
This was Tennessee, Chattanooga.
Say the question again, sir.
I was asking for just a very memorable experience from the road, a show where something unusual happened, or maybe it was just a fantastic thing that happened, or something that just is in your memory from touring that you'll never
I can tell you
forget.
mine burned in my memory. Yeah? That would burn in.
Well, I got a kind of joyful thing here. One of the pinnacle venues in our area to places. It was called the Philadelphia Spectrum. The Philadelphia Spectrum housed Dr. J. Allen Iverson. It also housed the Philadelphia Flyers. One of the things as a young musician that I never knew was when they transformed everything from the ice arena to a venue where they could have an R&B show or a rock show. Where did they put the ice? But yeah, I always had that question. Where did they put the ice? So when I finally worked one of my stages, was able to work the Philadelphia Spectrum. It was the biggest venue in the area to work. And I found out where they put the ice. So what happens is, not to give you a question without the answer, is the ice folds up in squares and they stack it. And it stacks under the stage. So when you go up on the stage, that's why the stage is so cold, because the ice is flipped under the stage.
See, I didn't know that. I didn't know that at all.
I know. Is that how they do it at most arenas?
Probably how they do it in all of them,
Folding the ice.
Huh?
Folding up the ice.
Yeah, I mean, it was just something that I was like, wow. I asked a couple, I said to Natalie Cole, "What do they do with the ice, Natalie?" She said, "Honey, I don't know." Nobody knew. But I went and saw them. Yes, you learn a lot of stuff. I watched Earth, Wind, and Fire put the tricks up. I watched the people come in and put together the flipping organ and how it's actually done, how the wire is put up for when the guy slides down from the roof. I watched all the installation on how all of the tricks are put in the major acts and how they're actually built. So when you talk to a guy like me that's doing a master class, I'm actually going to tell you how it's done because I sat there and watched them do it and had backstage clearance to watch everything. So you get to see how these things evolve and how the stage and how how the technicians place the explosives and how the explosives are. They measure out the footage. They measure out how much powder goes in. The fire marshal comes and checks everything. It's a big deal to blow up the stage. You can't blow up the stage because you got all kinds of water stuff that opens up. If it gets hot, you got all kinds of things that can happen when it goes off. But I sat there and watched and learned how they did it. And you have to be a student of not only just the musical side, but of the business side.
You mentioned the Commodores, and I had either Thomas McClary, I think it might have been, that was on, said, with their pyrotechnics, there was one show they did where one of them caught on fire. So, you can't be too careful with those stage things.
Right on Larry's brother, Norman.
Yeah, War blew up the stage
Yeah,
too.
Norman did too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had it happen one time, but it wasn't a huge one, but it happened.
It wasn't a whole huge with Norman.
But we were on the stage in Washington, D.C. with War. And War uses this netting like they're in a war, and it's all over the amplifiers like it's camouflage. And they blew the stage up. And the netting got on fire.
We're getting off topic, but I got to tell you, since you brought up War, I went and saw them do a reunited show at the House of Blues in Hollywood on Sunset in 1995-ish. And all of a sudden, they were in the middle of their set, water started just coming in on the floor of the venue. And it started really coming in. And it turned out that a water main broke up on Sunset Boulevard, which is up the hill.
It was coming down.
And the venue got completely flooded out. Everyone had to get evacuated in the middle of the show.
Wow.
A War show had the opposite too. They had a flood besides having a fire.
Fire and water.
Yeah. How about the pyrotechnics going wrong with Michael Jackson, which resulted in his hair getting caught on fire.
Scalp, yeah.
So let me tell you about the first time Fat Larry's band met Michael Jackson. We were at Sigma Sound. Y'all want to hear this?
Yeah.
Sure.
We were at Sigma Sound Studios in downtown Philadelphia, and we had just signed for our second album. We were in Studio 2, and I was sitting on the console. Teddy Cohen was at one end just kind of strumming some stuff, and the phone rings. And Erskine was sitting right here where he's sitting at. And Fat Larry was over here somewhere. And Fat Larry answers the phone rings, and they say, it's the Jacksons. Well, the Jacksons, when they left Motown and came to Philly, they had to change their name from the Jackson 5 to the Jacksons. But they didn't own that. Motown kept that, and naturally they had this. That's when they became the Jacksons. So the phone rings, and I can hear it say, it's the Jacksons, and they want to come up and congratulate you guys on your second album. So Larry puts the phone like this and says to all of us, it's the Jacksons downstairs, and they want to know if they can visit us in the studio and come upstairs and congratulate us on our second album. So everybody said, yeah. And I said, no, wait a minute. They can't come unless Janet is with them.
Yes.
But naturally they all came up, and Michael was there, and he didn't have much to say. He was very low key. He didn't have much to say, but they were clean. They had that look at them. They also had charisma and star power. I'm talking about even them as when they moved as a group, they had a certain way they looked, certain way they handled themselves, and a lot of the acts should act like them because that's how you do it. Yeah, I'm quite sure they got their problems like everybody else, but that's how you do it. That's how we got to meet Michael Jackson and the Jacksons. Yeah,
But Janet was just a kid at that time for sure. She was little.
that's with no kid.
That wasn't too long after she was on Good Times, right?
Yeah, it was a good little while after. I don't know what time Good Time aired, but that's what I said.
So, if somebody asked you, what are a couple of the elements sound-wise that make Fat Larry's band distinctive, how would you describe it to someone who's never heard the group?
I would tell you, listen to the vocals and some of the techniques that they use as a group worked out. We had a definite sound then, and we have a definite, and only heard a little bit of what we really can do, because we still got to sit down and rehearse intensely. We as far as a unit, but I'm pretty sure with the unique voices, we're going to come up with some really, and that's why I'm telling you, hold on to your seat. You ain't gonna believe this.
I think it's the answer to the question. I think it's the sing-alongs. I think that the sing-alongs with Fat Larry's band are uplifting. They're catchy. There's things that an average person can whistle and sing along with. The writers for the group and the writers now that are coming into the group, we do things that are uplifting, not negative stuff. No, we don't do anything with cussing and kill the police and all that. We don't do that. Our sing-alongs are uplifting, about love, about happiness, about dancing, about accents, great 3 and 4 part harmonies with 7th chords, not just flat harmonies, 1, 3, 5. We got 7s in there. So you're getting nice little salt and pepper in our harmonies, and a great front line. You got a really good front line here. We got a great first tenor, a nice baritone, a couple good second tenors, batting it out, and some really good dance choreography that covers the entire stage. We are a world act. We are not a local act. We are a world act, and we come with the big show. Next question.
How would you say that if someone goes to see you guys now, how is that show different from if they had seen you in the 70s or 80s?
Oh, that's easy. You want that one?
Yeah, we're a lot more polished. Ooh, a lot more stagemanship. We all have that presence now, and so you'll see a different, same show but different.
Well, the setup is the front line is set up. Our record company has made a change, and now we have a 3-man front line. I'm bringing Art out front to sing his solos. So you have a 3-man front line with great choreography, really nice stage costumes, and we all try to present ourselves and look as neat and polished as money can buy. So you're getting a front line now instead of the front line previously was our horn section. The horn section now is a part of our band, and you're getting the Fat Larry band with a front line.
And about how many songs do you plan on having in the set lists?
Well, I think that you want to take that.
First one was 4 for the first part.
No, 50 minutes.
Yeah,
50
but
minutes.
I know we want to add more on. But right now we're just trying to perfect what we have, and then we'll build from there.
Well,
just according to what we pick out.
What was the question again, sir?
I was asking about how many tracks the set lists might be. How many
Set
songs?
list is going to be we're scheduled to do between 40 minutes and 50-minute shows at our concerts. Although we are not currently the headliners for any of the shows, not unless we've been hired as that as such. We'll sometimes they hire you for 50 minutes and you actually only do 35. Depending on if you're in the middle of the show and there's 5-6 groups, they may come to you and say cut 50 minutes off your show. But I got the show 48 hours ago, and there's 9 songs for the show that the CEO has picked out according to the charts where the songs charted in the UK. We can look at the charts and see what songs we should select. We're not selecting songs that are our favorites. We're selecting the songs that the people want to hear. Over there. There's a couple of songs that I actually like that we've done that never charted. So we won't do those songs. We do the songs that people like. So Mr. Ingram has started he's given us the first 9 or 10 songs for the list and where they are within the show. So the show is currently being built. And not to be redundant, but we are in rehearsal 5 days a week currently preparing to leave. The record company is in touch with our booking agents overseas and the companies that book us, and everything from what I just heard. I just listened to what was sent from London or over that area, and everything is a green light, everything is a go. We're looking forward to being there with Salaam and the Commodores and everybody, all of our old friends. We're looking forward to meeting you guys at the stage. But I'm going to tell you, buckle up, because Fat Larry's going to bring it. We're going to bring it.
So when do you think the tour will run through, from like when to when? Do you know?
Say that again.
What months do you see the tour running?
That's on the record company. They select when we leave.
He was saying something.
Yeah, but it's on. Butch will give you that. We don't want to say because they're handling that.
What was the performing history of the group until now? Like between the late '80s and up to recent, did the band perform, or what was going on with the group in the '90s and earlier 2000s?
Go ahead.
I don't know. On some occasions, if Butch and his brothers was playing, we might have had the opportunity to sing a couple of Fat Larry Band songs, because Butch and his brothers, fabulous band. Them boys can play. I tell you, the odd thing about that band is all of them plays an instrument, but all of them play horn. I said, nah, that's the damn thing I see. They just studied doing one thing, bringing the horns out and saying it. I said, you know what? This is Butch fella. Nice guy. Good guy to know.
Yeah, we had some, as you well know, we've had some death in the group, and which slew everything down. Losing our leader just kind of put a stop on everything, and with the tragic death of the lead singer. And then we still have a couple guys right now who are in the hospital or in care places with significant problems. So that will stop the movement of the group, which is why Butch Ingram allowed me to be a part of this front line, so that we could continue the journey of Fat Larry. And as Butch has clearly said, although we don't have Fat Larry here, we'll still continue on under Fat Larry's band, but we're focusing on everything now is abbreviations. So we're pushing the FLB in parentheses, Fat Larry's band. I hope I answered that for you.
Yeah, you did. Thank you. So to kind of start to wrap things up, what are you most proud about in the legacy of Fat Larry's band?
You want to go first?
Work ethic. All of us, somehow, has instilled a good, great work ethic in our music. And the music that we do is good heart. When I'm writing a lyric, I don't be trying to write the negative stuff. I be trying to write all positive messages because I'm positive. So there you go. But like I said, and I hate to be rhetorical, but hold on, you see what's coming. He's coming at you. Coming straight at you.
That sounds like a song that hasn't been written yet.
I'm working on it right now.
I'm thinking that what makes me proud about Fat Larry's band is that the music is still relevant right now, today. You can listen to a lot of the music of Fat Larry's albums, and it's timeless. You don't know if was it done recently. There might be some horn line or some musical passage that will make you think of the 70s, but then other parts of the same song will make you think of what's happening today. And so the fact that Fat Larry's band has lived from then to now makes me so very, very proud. It gives the music validity. It gives it value that the people are still wanting to see us, wanting to see this music performed.
I don't know. I built me a whole family off that same music. I got 2 daughters and a son. I built a whole. Listening to that music, I tell you, I ain't trying to listen to that music anymore. I'm trying to have no more babies. That's it.
Come on, Carl.
Yeah, what I was saying is, even after some of the rehearsals that we had so far, and a recent show that we did, the music is fun. It's music that uplifts you, your soul and your spirit, and you come out singing to the songs.
Yeah, catchy.
Yeah.
So here's how I feel about it. I'm just going to keep it raw with you. There was 6 guys, and the 6 of us had an idea, and we made up our mind that we were going to follow through with our idea. We took an idea and formed another idea and never gave up. We never gave up. People, there were a lot of people who were on our side, but there were also forces against us. But the idea of that we wanted to leave a paying gig and be our own bosses. We wanted to be our own bosses. We wanted to write our own music. We wanted to be able to play the drum beats that we wanted. We wanted to be able to be out front and do the dance routines that we wanted to do. It all stemmed from us being in a room. I remember the day that it happened. Being in a room, and we call him Fat Boy. And Fat Boy looked at us and said, we need to have our own group. And that's when it sparked. We started getting ourselves together. We started slowly writing songs, and look at where we're at today. I couldn't be more grateful. Never give up. Always keep your mind open. Always receive with an open heart.
That's a great message for everybody everywhere. And I think that does embody the group for sure. And I know you guys are going to play those great hits live, and that's going to be fantastic. I want to also encourage people, though, to still go back, and check out those records, because there's a lot of great material on them that you might not be familiar with. Even the song like Sparkle is, very unique and an interesting track. And there's a lot of great stuff like that. So dig in deep. And, any closing thought on the people following you from here on out?
I'm not going to say nothing. Hold on to your seat, though. That's the only thing I can tell you. Watch out. They're coming.
We're going to watch out for sure.
Keep clicking on and look for our webpage to come up. It should be up expeditiously. And join in and become a member of Fat Larry's band and watch us on our world tours. Click on our Facebook page. It should be up momentarily. The record company tell me that they're on top of everything. So keep looking for it And anyone who sees this that is overseas, please check your local listings on where we're going to appear at. Yeah, please be kind enough to come take some pictures with us, guys.
Yeah, we coming.
We're looking to be performing on some of the festivals in the UK and throughout Europe. So look as well for those festivals that will be performing, performance venues and vessels, cruises like the Soul Train cruise and things like that. So look for us everywhere.
All right, we'll definitely be looking for you. I want to thank Jimmy and Art and Dr. Salaam and Carl. Thank you so much, and I wish you guys all the best and success on your tour. And take good care of yourselves. Thank you.
Thank you for having
Thank
us.
you.
And Sparkle's a really nice song too.
Yeah.
Sparkle, you came into my life like a shooting star.
Hey, now we get the singing. Now that we're saying goodbye.
Love and respect, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you, gentlemen. Much appreciated. Take good care.
Thanks for having us.
Okay.
God.
So long.
I hope you enjoyed this episode of Truth in Rhythm. A big thank you goes out to our guest as well as to you, the viewer and listener. Also, much gratitude to Pleasure for supplying the show's funky opening and closing music. As a reminder, you can always access the complete list of linked shows by episode at funkandstuff.net. I urge you to support this program and receive the extra benefits along with that by subscribing to the Funk and Stuff channel on YouTube and sharing it with funk, R&B, and jazz lovers, joining Truth and Rhythm's membership program at Patreon, submitting a donation at funkandstuff.net, buying Everything is on the One, the First Guide to Funk book at Amazon, shopping at the Funky Things store for cool merchandise at funkandstuff.net, and linking through funkandstuff.net for all of your Amazon purchases. In addition, if you're an artist or anyone seeking proven, results-oriented professional marketing, PR, writing, or editing consultation or production, check out the media services section at funkandstuff.net. Also, I encourage you to drop me a line at scottg@funkandstuff.net. I love the feedback, suggestions, guest requests, appearance and sponsorship inquiries, and just talking about my favorite subject, groove-based music. For now, and as always, this is Scott Dr. GX Goldfine saying, keep on vibing to the rhythm of the one.